This is Joyce
and Blake, and
and
welcome
welcome to
to
Savagely
Savagely
Scaled.
Scaled. It's
Are we
because
delayed?
I don't know if you are, because I was like, my one,
Yeah, but I'm excited. It is games week.
it is. And I know that today they got rained out on like going over event one. Everybody was in
Yeah.
their ponchos.
What a start, right? I'm like, it's spooky. Because this is the first games after the whole Lazar thing, right?
Yeah. And I was like going over numbers, and like numbers have been down, but they haven't shown like these numbers are from 2022, 2023. And even then it was kind of going down. And it's just like a lot of articles are going over how the announcements haven't been as big, social media hasn't been as big, things online are not like focused on it, and it's very sad. So
Mhm.
I'm excited to watch it, but at the same time I'm like, you guys could have done so much better.
Yep. And you're right.
Yeah.
I feel like in the past games they went really hard on like the branding and the advertising and everything. And this year it just feels like I didn't even know when and where the games were going to play until the barbell spin posted about it. And I was
Mhm.
like, "Oh, cool. Screenshot that." But I was surprised that there was like nothing, like even on social media, not much aside from just like the athletes coming in and things like that. But there's a lot of athletes also participating in the World Fitness Project too.
Yeah. But I feel like it's been more the athletes advertising things
Mhm.
about the games, about the last chance qualifier, about in person or not in person, regionals or whatever they are, than CrossFit itself was doing.
Yeah.
I feel like also more of, what is it, the social media people who are not even CrossFit, their own thing, like Hiller, Meme for Time, Ali Loves Lifting, a couple of these other social media people through CrossFit that enjoy CrossFit have been more advertising it than actual CrossFit.
Yep. I feel
And
you
it's
on
like
that.
I understand that we're a society that like just wants that gratification, wanting to know now and everything. But this is like when we went over some of the things that Don Fowl did, and they cut their social media like by more than half of people
Cool.
who were dealing with social media and things like that. So it was just like, and that was, quite a few years ago. And it's just, if you cut that when social media is growing and you're depending on these other people or even newcomers to understand what the games are. And I know that people say, well, you guys say it's like the Super Bowl, but you get less views and less things. But I still feel like that's the outcome it is. Like when you do the draft, that's the open to see who's who, and you get those affiliates to join in and everything, and you might see some newcomers on those lists, and then the next step is seeing who's actually on the roster and going to those games, and then the next step, for regionals is, those teams playing against each other who's in each other's conferences, and then you have the last chance qualifiers, and then you have the big finale, which is still to me somewhat of a Super Bowl within a Super Bowl, because you have so many events. So it was really big when I started CrossFit, and I just feel like it's been dwindling. And
Mhm.
I think it started dwindling when they were having you charge to watch the last event,
Yeah. I'm
and not
wondering if
even announcing that. It was just like, oh, you can't watch
True.
this until you pay. And it was like, what? So you're not going to even announce like, hey, of course you want it,
they
because
didn't
then people,
prepare us for that.
no. And I was like, why?
I really am
Yeah.
curious to see what they're gonna do this year with that because they didn't mention that either. I did see YouTube as
Hmm.
like, "Oh, if you wanna watch this on YouTube." So for anyone who wants to watch it, it is gonna be on YouTube. But, I mean, I'm probably gonna pay for it. Unless you have ESPN, then I'm coming over.
Yes, I do have ESPN,
There you
because
go.
remember we watched it the one year. I was like, yeah, I have ESPN.
Mhm. That's right.
So I'll be watching it, and I'll be watching it with my kids because, my husband's going to be gone.
Yeah, you're like, "TV time."
But it is like, that's what I
Yeah.
do. I put my TV on, put my headphones into that, or my Bluetooth headphones to my laptop, and that's what I listen to and watch. And I listen to, the announcers and what they're saying, and I listen to the on the floor announcers and just everything that's going on. and I do
Yeah.
rewatch things several times, or I used to. Last year was really difficult to watch because of everything that happened, but also how they put it on YouTube, and it was
Yeah.
just mismatched, and it
It was
was it was
horrible.
hard, and it was hard to find at times.
Mhm.
So I didn't like that. And
Agreed.
it wasn't even like why they did it. I know that we like change, and to me change needs to be for the better, and last year it just wasn't. So
Yeah.
we'll
And
see.
I think a lot of people are just going to be watching this year's games very closely after everything
Mhm.
that happened last year. Because I feel like there's still a lot of, I mean, Pat Vellner kind of posted about how he wasn't obviously participating on the games and everything. And
Yeah.
obviously, it seems like he's taking a stand with everything that's happening, and they kind of expressed that with Bukowski too, is kind of like what they're trying to do and where they're moving towards. And them not participating in this year's games is kind of very telling of how far they're willing to go to kind of like improve it and make it better. So I feel like this year's game is going to be very interesting because obviously we are still going to see a lot of our favorites in the top, but we're also going to like miss out on a lot of people that are
Mhm.
away from that. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see if and when they're going to address anything about last year or what they've changed this year compared to last year. And like you said, I think we're just going to be watching very closely with everything and seeing, how it turns
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, and, like, just being, like, the little person watching, like, we're not there and things like that, but it is, like, this whole season has been, like, very sad in a sense for me, like, am I is CrossFit gonna be around forever? Is that, like, something that I've built my life around and created communities with and outreach to people and gone to other gyms and dropped in? Is it one day never going to exist the way that it used to? I mean, I probably answered that within that question because it doesn't. It's grown. It used to be in garages and now there's actual gyms. But like these new people joining, how are they not just joining a Globo gym at some point when it's
Hmm.
money and not the fun advertisement of the open and cheering for everybody at the gym, and people like you can do things hard. So it's sometimes just makes me sad that it's not the same,
Hmm.
but it's not the same in like a happy sad where you're like, I'm so glad that it's growing and it's doing that.
Yeah.
Like last year when you guys all got to do, what was it? I always get them confused. But where you qualified
Semis?
for the not for the semis, but the
The quarter, sorry.
qualifiers, the quarters.
Quarterfinals.
Yeah. And I
Wish.
was really excited for that. And I know that they did the community cup. I
Hmm.
really enjoyed that. I hope they have that again. But like when they did the 1 year of the quarterfinals, and I was like, oh man, I hope they don't take
It's
this away because
attainable. Yeah, like you can do it.
yeah, and it's like a next step because it also forces people to do that competition.
Hmm.
And
It's
I think
true.
the community cup kind of does that, but it's also our athletes that we follow HWPO, and those athletes that you see intermediate 1, intermediate 2, like today when I coached, we had beginners, intermediate 1, intermediate 2, and RX when we explained our WOD and the whiteboard and saying, okay, well, if you don't have, toes to bar was today. If we just started connecting them, we're not doing 10. We have 4 to 6 for intermediate 2, or we have legs in space for intermediate 1. And then you have knee ups for beginners. I feel like that quarterfinals were based on people who have hit RX, but aren't always RX
Right.
and need that push and need that to be like, I want to do quarterfinals next year.
Hmm.
To me, Community Cup's not like that because you have to do the open to see what level you're at
Right.
to where you're above the level. So now this is even more above my level.
Right. They had those
So
numbers, right? Like, I think they would assign you something from 1 to 10.
yeah, and you could be an advanced,
Right.
novice, all these things, but you competed in advanced where I feel like quarterfinals, like there was going to be a movement that you did not have. And I get it. Community Cup kind of did that, but it wasn't all you advanced people working out together. We were all intermixed like the open when we did it at the gym. So it was like a mini open, which
Right.
again, I
That's true.
enjoyed. And if gyms did it correctly, and I'm biased, but I feel like we did it correctly. Our gym owners did it to where it was a weekend. It was like a fun in-house competition. And it was really, really
It
fun to
was really
watch.
fun. Yeah.
I really wanted to do it,
Yeah.
but
It was
you know,
hard. It was really hard.
yeah, and a lot of our members haven't, I shouldn't say a lot of them, most of them haven't done competitions where it's back to back because it's a little scary, right? To do, we have Barbell Mayhem coming out. It's a little bit scary. Community Cup is one of those things because we say the open is, but that's one workout every Friday. You can give us one workout because you give us one workout. You give us
Yeah.
at least 3 workouts in a week for our gym. So now we're asking you to do three or four workouts in a day.
The day.
So that's a little bit more to be like, oh, maybe I can do this. It is a good stepping stone for then those outside or those like our Barbell Mayhem coming up
True.
or the Prescott one. Like
Ooh.
it is
So many.
a good stepping stone. But then I wish they would have had those, individual quarterfinals or whatnot for everybody
Yeah.
else who advanced to the next thing.
Yeah, I'm very old fashioned when it comes to those things. Like I liked how it was originally when I had joined back in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was just so much funner that way. But yeah, making quarterfinals definitely made it feel more attainable. And like you
Yeah.
said, it was to me it seemed like a very smart commercial like way to make more money. Because honestly, all those people that did get to quarterfinals, let's be real, they all bought the t-shirt because they knew that this probably wasn't gonna happen again. So to
Yeah.
me, like it made sense. And like you said, a lot of people were very excited, like, oh my God, some of us made it. Like maybe next year more of us can make it. So there was like this like hope that like, we'll be able to
It
do it next year.
was. We
Yeah.
had a couple who were switching into masters and the weights are attainable and things were
Mhm.
attainable and they were like, "Okay, so all I need to work on this year is this thing because everything else is attainable to me." And then when they didn't do it, like they still did community cup and I know most of them are still happy, but to have that goal and then now you don't have it anymore, it just
It's
gets taken
sad.
away from you. It is because then it's like, but that's what I was working for.
It's okay. We're
So,
still gonna make masters, Blake.
yeah, that's my
Also, can we just
plan.
talk about Blake's arms in this video? Goodness gracious. Jeez Louise. I'm like, look at
They
mine.
make
No cut. No cut whatsoever. Just a plain old slice
some
of
of these,
arm. Look at that.
yeah,
No bicep for me.
yeah.
You know what? But I
Look at
got a
it. Look
tan,
at that.
girl. Oh my God. Look
Why
at
you gotta
that.
throw in the tan? You know I can
I
never
need a
get
win,
one.
man. I need a win after all that gun show I just saw right now.
You win all the time.
I don't know. It's the tank or something. It's working. I don't know.
Yeah.
All of y'all got
Right.
big arms when I got back from my 2 weeks, and I was like, "What is happening?" Phoebe too, man. Her arms are looking
Girl, she's
smoking.
been looking stacked. I'm like,
I was
what
like,
the
"What,
heck?
girl?
Right?
You can miss somebody." I'd be
Yeah.
scared.
But I mean, like as we're talking about here with all these goals and stuff like that, that's what it is. Like
Yeah,
she has goals, everybody has goals. I don't know if getting big arms or anything was that goal, but
specifically.
yeah. But everybody's been, I know she's been trying to take care of her diet and things like that. And
Yeah,
it's I don't know what word I was gonna use.
I guess it's nice
But
to see people achieving their goals and making things happen.
it is, and it wasn't like a nutrition goal for weight or anything. It was to like better her gut and stuff like
Mhm.
that. And I feel like getting into the gym and her goal with going to classes, just like those are really good stepping stones. Whether it's like a week, I'm gonna try this goal for a week, and then I'll try it for 3 weeks, and then I'll try it for 2 months, and then I'm gonna go into 90 days, and so on and so forth. It really helps.
We're cutting.
What
Oh,
am I going? But
let's.
speaking of goals,
You beat me to it.
yeah. Yeah, I did. How has it's the end of July, we're going into August. August is tomorrow for us. This is
Right.
coming out the couple days after. But
That's
how
crazy.
was your July?
It was good. Like I went to revisit the episode to remind myself of what my goals are.
Mhm.
One of them was to spend more time with family, which I really did a lot this month.
Yeah.
As you know, I was gone for like 2 weeks, which was kind of hard for me in a sense because I honestly I realized I value my routine a lot. And I
Hard
didn't
for
realize
you.
I was like, how lame. Like I'm like, I
It
miss
was
my
hard
bed.
for me.
I miss going to the gym. Like I miss all this stuff. Like I just miss having things to do. And the dogs even felt it. Like they were all kind of like, "Ugh, we're done with all these. By the way, my mom has 5 dogs. There was 7 dogs in the house at that point. And so yeah, I think my dogs at some point were just like, this is so much, like we're ready. And I'm just like, I'm so sorry. But it was a good experience. It was fun to just be with like my mom and dad again. It kind of brought back a lot of memories of me being in high school. And my mom still has a lot of like pictures of us
Girl,
when
you looked like a stick.
I was so skinny. Yeah, because I think I was doing marathon running at that time when I was starting at 13 years old until like 15, 16. And yeah, like we were running all the time, which probably explains why I'm so short because I never got the chance to grow much taller. But we were running
Well,
like
your mom's not that much taller.
she's not. Yeah, I got my height from my mom.
And I
And
was
my
like,
dad's tall, which is
your
sad.
grandma's really short too.
She's super short. That's why I was like, great. I got the thick thighs from my dad and the short stature from my mom. So perfect combo. But yeah, it was kind of nice to just see those old pictures of when I was really young. And I was like, damn, I've really come so far in terms of my athleticism and stuff. And it kind of reminded me of how we fluctuate through things. Like we start with running or we'll do tennis or we'll do something else. And then but now we're here and we ended in CrossFit. But it was a good opportunity for me to catch up with my grandparents. I went to go visit them in Mexico a few days, and while I was down there, they helped me get my Mexican citizenship. So now I'm a
Good
dual citizen.
job.
Yeah, which is I'm super proud and excited about that. But mainly, we kind of wanted to do it just so that when things lead to my parents or anything happening, like I'll be able to be there to kind of help them out with stuff. But it's kind of cool because I'm like I could also vote, and if I need to work in Mexico, technically I can now. So
No,
those
that's
things,
cool.
cool things. But other than that, just, caught up with a lot of friends down in LA, which was nice and kind of reminded me again, like I need to work on improving my relationships with people beyond just my
Mhm.
family and kind of just working on that a little bit more, making more time for that. So I guess my goal is just to continue nurturing the relationships that I've been neglecting a little bit. And then in terms of like fitness goals, I have been able to sink a few more pull-ups. I think you had in the chest to bar workout this Monday, which I was supposed to do pull-ups, but I know you don't gotta tell me. You don't gotta tell me. But I did link like 7 pull-ups, and I was like, and then I turned back, and Trisha was like, and I was like, yeah. So, and then that was only one time though, and then I just did like 5 in the next one. But I was like, yeah, maybe I should work on that first instead of doing like just 2 chest to bars at a time. I just can't get the push out right.
Yeah. Trisha was having the same issue and she's like, so I'm just going to do jumping chest bar. And I was like, so can you link that many pull ups each time and not push away? And
Yeah,
she's like, well, and I was like, yeah, then you focus on pull ups. Just because we have 3, maybe 5 pull ups doesn't mean then we just go,
we're ready.
oh, we only have 2 chest to bar. So I guess I'll do this. No, you still have to get that range of motion and that feel.
When would you say is like the right time? Would you say like once you can link like 10, 15, that's like a good like, okay, you might be ready, you know?
Yeah, I think like 15, and then you have
Oh my
some
God.
strict pull ups as well.
Okay, I need to work on my stricts.
So do like 10 to 15 and then at least getting like 5 to 10 strict
Oh my God. Every time? Every day?
every day. No. And then working on that really like push away from the bar. That's okay. And working
Sorry.
on that like
Technical
push
difficulties.
away from that bar because that's the whole rhythm. Like it will get you back into your kip compared to like you guys like drop down and then go into the kip and I'm like, geez, this no wonder your backs and your shoulders are just like and your
Man,
traps are like
I'm like, my dogs are
but
going crazy back here.
it was like that class was hilarious. I was just like, oh, okay, what is Joycey doing? She literally looked at me and said, okay. And then
Yeah.
I was like, are you doing chest to bar? Yeah. What did we talk about? I'm confused. Didn't we have this conversation? Well, yeah, you said that. Yeah.
I know. I was like, I know we talked about this, but my brain was gone that day. Something else happened too. And I think what else happened that same day?
I don't know, but I think it's also so you've done this a couple times and not just to me. This is not a bad like thing at
Who
times.
told you? I'm
I
just
feel
kidding.
like you are very but I can't do that right now. To
Right.
where we're like, but at the end, are you going to be able to? And you're like, well, I'm just doing it and see where I get. Right? There's
Right. Yeah.
sometimes when I lift like that where I'm like, well, I don't want to pay attention to all this. I know I can lift this bar, but if I don't pay attention that I didn't bring it into the pocket or I didn't graze it over
Mhm.
my thigh and it's all in front. And I'm just expecting my body to have the muscle memory and my
Right.
body just to do what my brain wants it to do. That we're like, wait, my brain knows I can do it, but my body's like, I can do it,
My
but not what
body,
I'm supposed to.
my body.
So,
No, you're right. You're right. But then my goal was to not underestimate myself. So part of me was like, just do it, just go for it. And then I was like,
yeah.
yeah,
So
that's
it
yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
is that. And I feel like there needs to be a happy medium with your success. Like,
Mhm.
just because I say chest to bar doesn't mean that you have to do chest to bar. I'd rather you do, if we have 10 pull ups 3 times, you do
Mhm.
the 10 pull ups instead of the 10 chest to bar.
That makes sense, girl. No, I know. I gotta listen to the
Yeah.
coach more.
And that's not underestimating you because that's just you holding on. But like
Mhm.
people forget because it's not written. Like what I'm giving you
Right.
sometimes isn't written on the board. So then it's like, but it doesn't count the way I want it to count because I want it
Right.
this
Yeah.
way.
Technically,
I
yeah.
just had this talk
I do
with
feel that.
Wyatt. Like Wyatt was connecting his toes to bar. He was doing 10 and then he was breaking it
Right.
into 5 and 5. And he's like, but I didn't complete it. I was like, you had 10 reps left. And I
That
was like,
still counts.
but is this like the first time that you connected that many toes to bar correctly? Yeah. Then that is actually way better to me than you completing it. You missed it by 10 reps.
Yeah, that workout looked exhausting. You
It
get
was.
no
It was
break.
continuous movement. And if some people don't want you to scale their number, then it's like, okay, then
Mm.
you're gonna die for 12 minutes,
Ugh. Yeah, I was like,
you know? Yeah. But it looked like something that I was like, this looks like fun. Now the deadlifts before it did not, and I would be like, nah, I'm not doing those.
I do plenty of lifting already. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Speaking of lifting, is coming up.
It is. So I know my big goal was to be better each time. And I think I said that for being a mom too and a better me. And I feel like I actually really did that this month. I always have been having hiccups since the beginning of the year. And my hiccups, I believe, are completely gone now. So I have no excuse. But I do feel like I did better for me each time that I went in. And I'm actually very happy with the goal that I set for July. I didn't set numbers or anything like that because I just hit new PRs in June.
Ooh.
Um, and I know I should always be reaching for something, but I think it was just being better at lifting, better at taking critique, better at listening. And that's it being a parent or being an athlete, being a better person in general of what's going on around me and knowing I'm doing what I can, but tomorrow I'm going to do a little bit more.
Right.
Feel like my July was like that. My August, I have been listening to a couple I listened to Mel Robbins, which she's amazing, and I've been listening to like some uplifting because there was last Friday, and I do this a lot. My confidence with lifting when my heart rate goes up shoots down, and um I go into, well, you can do this, but it's so heavy, but you can do it. But what if I hurt myself? You can do this,
Mhm.
but you don't want to hurt yourself because you've been there. And I kind of take steps back. But like I'll try it. But Friday, like I was shooting for 80 and my ultimate right now is 78 kilograms for the bar. And I was going for 80 and I had hit 77 and it felt like trash. And I was like,
Yeah.
I feel like complete trash. And Chris was like, no, you're doing 80. Like he told me the numbers and I still did it. And I was like, okay, okay, okay. And then I hit 77 and I was like, well, he saw how trashy that was. He's for sure going to be like, okay, you're done. Cause he was telling each girl like when they were done sometimes and he's like, no, you're going to put 80. And I was like, fine, I'll put 80 on the bar. Not to mention my snatch was like,
God.
it took me like 3 times to even hit the one that I wanted.
Snatches are so
Um,
much shorter.
yeah,
I feel.
that was 61, but I was going for 80 for my
Wow.
clean and jerk. And
Still really good.
like, girl, I sat there and I was breathing and Maggie was going and I was like, okay, calm down, calm down.
I got this.
And then I got up and like my heart rate was like 76, 78 when I was sitting down. I got up and I was
God.
putting chalk on my hands and my heart rate went 120,
No way.
126. And then I'm looking at the bar and I'm adjusting my belt, and my heart rate goes 130, 137. And like, I can feel it. And I'm like, but you got to do it because he has confidence in you lifting. Maggie has confidence in you lifting this. And I'm just like, my heart rate, I'm nervous. I'm really nervous to lift this weight. I'm really, really nervous. I freaking pulled it and I hit my chest.
Ooh.
And then I drop it. And Chris is literally like, I didn't know we do chest to bars and lifting. And I was like, I freaking knew it. So he was trying to tell me, and then Chris encouragement, basically like I
Right.
need to hit it. Like, I need to go for broke. I need to have that confidence. So long story short, I've been listening to some things, and there was an episode with this producer with Mel Robbins, and he was saying, who better than me? And it just stuck with me. And I walked into the gym 2 days later after listening to that. And I said, you know what? My thing's going to be for August, Maggie. It's going to be, who better than me to lift that? Nobody. Me. Who better than me to hit this right? Nobody. Me. This is my bar. Nobody's better to lift on this bar than me. And I need to think that, and I need to do that, and I need to realize that that is a healthy confidence, and it's a healthy cocky, and I'm not arrogant in that selfish way, that I need to really, hunker down and be like, who better to hit these numbers than you, Blake? And so that's what I'm going to be doing for August.
Nice.
Since the meet is. Also, on a side note, I was looking up the meet today, and I was like, oh, let me just see if they put the list up. Well, they put the list of everybody who made it, and there's like 500 and something people.
Wow.
We're all in different categories and things like that in age. Girl, I could not find my name.
What?
I found everybody else's name. Your girl registered in the wrong age group.
No.
So I'm freaking out, right? I'm freaking out because I've done competitions that they're like, oh, well, that's on you. And now you either have to re-register. So that right now registration's like 2 something. And I already paid $175 for it.
No.
Or sorry, until next time. I've been to those competitions where it was like, sorry, maybe next year.
Well, did you reach out to find out?
Okay.
Oh my God, I'm scared.
So we have a lifting group chat, and it's just like, I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? And Heather's like, reach out to them.
Yeah,
They put me as a coach for something when I'm not, and it's really quick. And I'm like, okay, I emailed them.
Mhm.
But as I am emailing and I hit send, I'm like, well, there's a phone number. I'll just call because I got to call. What do you guys think I should call?
I can't wait.
Yeah. So I call, and it's an answering machine, but there's no beep. So I'm like waiting for the beep after they're like, nobody can answer. Please leave a message. And then I take a breath like, is the beep coming? And then all of a sudden the robot says, I'm sorry, what's your name again? And then I was like, oh, it must have beeped. Hi, I'm Blake. This is my member number. Da, 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 da. I ended up registering for Open Women's 69 kg, and I'm not in that division. Actually, I'm in the Masters. Well, technically, I'm in the 35 to 39 Masters. And if you could just give me a call back. I mean, I actually emailed you, so if you could just answer the email and let me know how to fix this or who to contact to fix, that would really help me. So if you can do that, and I think that's it. Oh wait, my number is 760. Girl, I sounded like the girl who was desperate for a second date.
You have to be. We're so close to it. You have to be.
Girl, I sounded so desperate that when they emailed me back, they were like, oh, please don't fear that, or like something that I was like, oh no, it was more like, she is spiraling.
Like, calm down.
Yeah, it was.
It's not a big deal. We'll switch it now.
I literally, you guys, like, I peed my pants in laughter because how the email went. Because they were like, oh, she's crazy. This girl's crazy. She must be special. And then they sent me, they're like, if this happens again, because they know me for some reason, here's step by step if you do this. And then they sent me pictures with arrows pointing to things. And they're like, but don't you worry, we're here for you. And I was like, nuh-uh, that is sad. That is sad.
I mean, hey, at least they helped. They could have been really mean about that, but
they could have. But I was like, oh my gosh. But
that was you, though.
I was like freaking out. It was. I was literally like, I sound like the girl who's like, I mean, you said that you liked purple, and I love purple, and then our stars are aligning, so I don't see. And we both wore white shoes. I mean, you wore beige shoes, but I wore white shoes. And I could just tell your pinky just wanted to touch my pinky, so we should go on another day. Like, I sounded like a weirdo, like a
No.
straight up weirdo on their answering machine.
Damn. Well,
Yeah,
I'm glad it was an easy fix and they didn't make it a big deal because that could have been a
a
huge
huge
yeah.
deal. So
Yeah.
there went my confidence, right? When I was like, "Who better than me?" That's why I was like, "Oh, no, no. Okay, I'll send an email and I'll call."
Who
And
better
then
than, what is it, 69-year-old Blake, or what age did they put you?
no, I put myself in it.
See,
I registered
girl.
myself. Oh, that's what I said too in the message. I go, "Sometimes when I get really excited, I just press on things." They didn't need to know that.
Yeah, that was unnecessary for sure. They're like, "She presses on things, let's put arrows on these things."
Yeah, that's why they put the arrows. There you go.
That is funny.
But
You
I was
gotta
just
love
like,
that.
"No, I have to fix this. I have to fix it now, and it's gonna get done, and if they don't reach out to me in the hour, I'm gonna reach out to them again." And I would've, like, every hour, been
Oh
like,
my
"Hey, remember me? Like, I'm here."
It's Blake again.
So, we still haven't checked the email.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
that would have been
Dude.
me because
I'm so glad that you got it fixed though. I
yeah,
was terrified for a second when you didn't finish the story yet, and I was like, "Oh no, this would happen."
but I would have been crying. I would have been
I
like,
would have been
"I'm
crying for you too.
done." But it's right around the corner. It's like 4 weeks and 2 days.
That's insane.
And I am so excited. I'm, like, excited nervous
Yeah.
because, like, this is my first meet in front
Yeah.
of people, and
Like
that's
legit.
why, like, when Simmons is like, "Oh, just so you know, like, the group, you might be at the lower group because you're not as" he didn't say this, he
I'd
didn't
be
say,
like,
"You're
"Don't
not
ruin
as
this for
good as
me."
the other things," but I literally went like, "I just wanna go.
I'd be like,
I
"Don't
don't care.
ruin this for me, okay?"
I don't care if I'm athlete Z
I wouldn't either. I'd
who
be like, "I
has"
made it, y'all.
yeah,
It's already
like
a win."
this like, just going and lifting something in front of people that I don't know,
That's
like, I'm
damn.
that's already because that was supposed to be my goal. My goal is, like, strengthen my back. I'm doing that. I did that. I'm still doing it. But it was to actually go to a meet, and I haven't been to one. I did it
This is it.
online, and lifting in your gym is very comfortable. Like, lifting in our home gym, very comfortable. Don't know, like, the aspect of waiting in the back and waiting to go and
And wearing
who went
leotard.
before me. Yeah. Well, no, I had to wear my thing. So which is not as uncomfortable as I thought, but, like,
Nice.
the whole goal is to do a meet, and I haven't done one in front of people, so let's just do this one. Let's fly and go do that one.
Let's go do the scary things.
Yeah, and so that's why I'm like, I do have to build my confidence in that. I mean, he wasn't wrong in that. I get
So proud of you.
very thank you. I get very low confidence in things that I'm uncomfortable with, and I'm very uncomfortable with lifting. And that's because every day is like a new lifting day. Like I know everything I'm supposed to do, but if that bar feels more like even more heavy, like you know how sometimes y'all lift the 35-pound bar and it's like, oh, today's gonna be a heavy day because the bar's already heavy.
Mhm.
Or if you're really sore and you have to get into those positions, it is like I was telling Maggie that the other day. Like CrossFit was not uncomfortable for me because I could scale everything or I could modify it or I knew the workouts that I'm going to do good on. I would still go to the ones that I wasn't.
Mhm.
But like with lifting, I can't do that. I have to do the
Yeah.
programming or I'm not going to have a good outcome.
Right.
And every day is uncomfortable.
Ugh.
And, I don't thrive in that. Like, some of the girls thrive in that. I don't thrive in that, so my confidence goes down. I also have, like, a coach complex in a sense of I never wanna let my coach down. So if I don't do the lift correctly in front of him, even though I made it, like, I feel like I disappointed him or disappointed people around me. And so I have to be more about, like, with myself and confidence that I'm lifting the bar, they're not, and I need to do it, and so that's what I'm going for.
I know. I'm excited to check in and see how everything goes after the competition because that's probably our next check-in is after everything happens.
Mhm. Yeah, so I'm excited to go with everybody. I'm excited that I have everything lined up here, with watching kids and everything like that, so it's nice, and
Yeah,
I
are they
can't
gonna
wait to
stream
see
it?
what oh, I don't
Are
know,
we
I'd
gonna
have
be
to
able to
ask.
see?
That would be nice.
That would be
I'll have to
nice.
ask. I'll have to see and then put that
I'm gonna
on.
be like, "Coach Amanda, do a live feed." Is she going? I think
Yeah,
she's going.
she's gone.
Like, she should have a Facebook Live and just literally stand there the whole time and, like, just record you guys when you guys go on. That would be
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. We'll have to talk to her or see
But
if
yeah, I
they
have
have like a site or anything.
yeah, girl, I have a feeling a lot of people from the gym would watch, for sure.
And the outpour of everybody's support and things because we have the chug and run, and we have t-shirts and I've even had like people from other gyms that we visited be like, oh, okay, well maybe we'll donate to this or we'll get a t-shirt or we'll do this
How
and
cool.
yeah, so I like that. So I'm really excited. I'm counting down the days
Yay.
and I'm just like I'm so excited.
It's a good month. It's a good month, for
It
sure.
is. It is. So that's gonna be mine is the confidence thing and who better than me?
That's
Nobody.
right, girl. That's
Who
right.
better than you?
Me.
Yep. Just me. Yep. The
I'm
tan.
joking. Right, right. I'm
But the
just
only
kidding.
thing I'm nervous about is like I'm not nervous about lifting. I'm not nervous about what's gonna happen. I'm nervous about again, y'all, I have to weigh and I've never
Wow.
traveled and had to meet a weigh. So right now I'm 2 pounds away, which is very doable. Yeah. And we're going to Disneyland. So
I
there's
know,
that.
so stay away from me.
I'm like, I want a bite, just one bite of whatever you have.
Hey, the Dole Whip's not that bad. I think it's like 150 calories, so it's pretty that'd be probably the healthiest thing you could probably get out
I'm
there. Maybe a
gonna
pickle.
I'm gonna get you because I just was on the phone with you the other day saying I don't like Dole Whip.
Well, I'll get it for you. That's how much I
But they
care.
have strawberry, huh?
They do, and peach.
Maybe.
Mhm.
No, like I think my plan is I'm gonna bring like snacks for myself. But
Okay.
if you guys have something and you guys are willing to share, then I get to break off a piece and have a bite.
I ain't sharing my churro. I'm kidding. You can have a little piece.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Just the tip.
Just a tip. God.
But yeah.
No, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of things to try, but I'm really excited for that too. And just to have a little break, you deserve a little break from all that hard work. And I feel like we've been doing things and you haven't been able to go because either like you're fundraising or things are happening or we're busy or kids or whatever. So I'm like, it's time, girl. It's time.
Yeah, I'm excited for that trip. It is, and it's going with people that I enjoy being around. It's my August. I mean, we've already talked about our August, how filled it is.
Yep.
So this is actually the weekend that I'm not gonna have anything, and it's the only weekend out of this month coming up that I won't have anything. So like, I'm happy that
You're
August
embracing
is
it.
here, but when you're busy on the weekends and you're trying to get everything ready for the weekend,
Ugh,
the
yeah.
month goes, like, crazy fast.
That is true. And I don't know if it's the break, but I've been feeling like I've been doing the weight, but not RX just yet anymore. Like I've gone down a little bit.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm missing that extra oomph to get back to that RX level of especially the lifting part. Weights are just feeling really heavy for me lately.
Well, yeah, you just literally got back.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, I guess the goal is just to get back on track. And toes to bar is something that I really want to sink and get down. I could only do like 2 at a time, maybe 3. So that's kind of one of the goals that I continuously see in workouts. And I'm just like, I still don't have those. So maybe that's going to be my August goal is just to start working on those after class or before class and
Yeah,
try to improve those.
that's good. I mean, I know you touched on the friends thing. I know, like, for me, the last couple months, like, my California friends, like, I've decreased communication, and it's not because, like, I don't wanna talk to them. It is so hard being an adult friend, right? And I was just
Yeah.
talking to somebody at the gym about this because when you're in high school, even college, like, you see that person, you want to hang out with that
Forced
person
to
every
kind of
day.
spend time with them. Yeah.
Yes, and you like I remember in high school where it was like, "Oh yeah, I just spent like 6 hours with you. Yeah, I want to stay at your house. Oh, we work together too. And after work, I'm going to go to your house, you're going to my house." When you become an adult and I don't want to say you don't have a life as a younger adult or as a teenager, but technically you don't. When it's just your friends. Like your friends are your life.
Right.
So you don't have a life. But when you're an adult and you have kids, you have a job, you have these outside things, and people don't live close,
Mhm.
it's hard to have that communication because there's tons of times that I've talked to couple of my friends and I'm like, I did want to text you, but it's like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. By the time I wake up, it's already, like I got to get the kids out. I know you have kids or you have this job that starts. Our lunch breaks are not at the same time. And I feel like by the time I remember to text you, I'm back in that same boat. It's 9 o'clock at night, which is an excuse. But I feel like when they say a good friend catches up where you left off,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that is. And I do have a couple friends like that, but I also feel like I'm letting them down in certain ways because they have been there for me
Mm-hmm.
and maybe just me sending them a text at 9 or 10 and they could be like, "Girl, I'm not up." But it
But
was
I'm
the
thinking of
fact
you.
that I did do that, and I, like, feel you in the same boat, like, there's so many times when I go to California too, and I'm like, "Man, I wanted to go," but they're 2 hours away, I have the kids, my mom has everything lined up, like, there's times that I'm like, "I don't wanna tell anybody I'm out here because I literally can't,"
Hang out
and
with
I
everybody.
also yeah, and I also don't like that, I always have to ask them to come to me because that's not
Mhm.
fair.
Yeah,
So, I like, when you said that, I was like, "I need to do better to do that
it's
too,
hard.
because like, everybody here I check in with
Mm-hmm.
because I see them at the gym. So it's so easy to check in with them that
Yeah.
I need to the people who have been there for me since I mean, I have friends since middle school
Wow.
that will do anything for me. And I know that they know the same, but at the same time, they're more active in that friendship. And I need to start being like, you know what? You did a lot of it and now let me do it. It's just hard. It's hard being an adult and a friend and not
Mm-hmm.
having your friend near you.
Yeah. You have
Because I
more
mean,
responsibilities.
even when you were was gone, even when you were gone, I also go into like, well, I don't want to bug her. She's spending time with family and friends, and that's her space. Now, when there was those times when I was like, I really miss you when you're coming back.
I got 2 texts. I mean, it wasn't horrible. You
Yeah,
did great. You did good.
but like when I go, you reach out more than I do, and I just feel like I'm stepping on people's toes if I do it.
Well, I mean, you have pretty good friends. I feel like they trust you enough to be like, "You know what? Back off, girl." Like, at least I'd be like,
I
"Sorry, I'm so
know.
busy. Like, I'll text you or call you tomorrow." But I don't know. I think for me, it was just like I realized like how good it feels to catch up with people, and I was like, man, I forgot how great this was. And it's kind of like you remind yourself like, oh, keeping in touch with the people who you're their friends for a reason. So it's
Yeah,
like like I need more of these happy moments, and it's usually like if I maintain relationships like you and I, or we're texting or messaging,
yeah,
like send each other gifs or funny things. All that just keeps it going, I feel. And I mean, look at us with Grace. I mean, we're able to somehow make
yeah.
like sending videos and things like that. And
Okay, Grace is a very easygoing friend.
yeah, she's a Taurus too, so that helps.
Yes. Like,
We're cactus friends.
it's hard because, like, how I just said, how I was kinda like that friend that might be needy. Now, if, like, you have a friend who's always needy and soon as you're like, "Hey, I need you," and they're like, "Oh, can't do it," Me, if they need me, then I'm like and I can't be there, I'm like, "Okay, well, let me send you an Amazon care package." 'Cause I
Right.
feel like that's what I can do. It's not me, and I haven't done it all the time, but right now I can,
Mhm.
and it's just hard. It's hard because I feel like that's why when you're in high school or a young adult that you maintain friendships because it's always a high.
Yeah.
It's never really a struggle friendship, and if it's a struggle friendship, then you tend to leave
Yeah.
them. So, because I get that too, like, when I'm like, "Oh, man, how come I don't come out here and do that more? How come I don't do that?" And then sometimes I'm like, "That's
That's
why."
why.
Mhm. There it is. That's why. But I feel like you do. You have, like, a very strong connection with tons of people out there.
Kinda, I guess. I suppose.
Or I don't know.
I mean,
As
yeah, I do have a solid group of people out there. And I think like I realize that because sometimes I post things and people are like, oh my God, we should hang out. And same reason as you, I'm like, I can't tell people because then I feel bad because I can't see all of you and I want to. But for the most part, yeah, I guess I have a really solid social circle or group of people who I would consider somewhat close. So yeah, very grateful for that. It's not easy to do or maintain, but again, I feel
It's
like,
not.
yeah, my friends have been very understanding of the fact that I live in Arizona now. And again, finding people that are very understanding of things like that and willing to work and maintain friendships despite the
You
distance
gotta
is
keep
hard.
them.
Yeah, it's hard. So when you find them, you snatch them and you keep them because it's tricky out there just to find friends, period. So I get you,
It
girl.
is. It
At least we
is.
have each other, Blake.
We do. Yeah, right. She'll drop me at the dam of a hat.
It was 2
A
weeks.
hat of a
Calm
dam.
down. My grandma
Come
was
back.
sick, okay?
She comes back and she's like, I already had plans for the weekend, so we have to do it this way.
Oh my gosh.
Well, hello to you too.
Hey, we're still
I
going
don't
to
want
the
to hear it.
pool. We're hanging out later on
I
Saturday.
don't want to hear it.
You didn't. No, you didn't. No, just kidding. 15
I-
tangent. Well, I guess that kind of calls it for our goals.
It is. On that note, it was so nice to hear what your goals are for August and that you met your July goals and that you're finally
Yeah.
back, Joycey.
I know.
So I'm excited for our August and then for our sit down after my meet. But
Woohoo!
if this is your swig of pre-workout, please follow so you don't miss an episode. Hit like so then you know when we're going to be entertaining you with these again.
That's right.
Please leave a comment on Spotify. You can also leave a comment on YouTube. Let us know if we PR'd or no repped on these. We'd also love to hear what your goals are and if you met your July goals and what your August goals are. We
Tell us
just
about it.
really want to know it. If you feel like your affiliate is the best or if you're an affiliate owner, please reach out. We would love to come do an affiliate segment with you. You can email us at savagelyscaled1 at gmail.com or DM us on Instagram at savagelyscaled. And we can give you all of the fun things that we do right before, during, and after your segment. If you have a story about your CrossFit gym or a PR that you or a friend hit, please message us, DM us, comment on YouTube, comment on Spotify, and we'll give them a huge shout out or we'll shout you out. But on that note, don't
Also,
be a
is
Karen.
there any way
Sorry.
that anyone could donate to the weightlifting girls if anyone wants to help you in your Texas journey?
There is. I'll leave the link. Thank you, Joycey.
Yeah.
But yes, as Joycey said, you can donate. I will leave the link in our show notes. And that is just a donation sum of whatever money you want to donate to us that will help us get to Texas. I'm trying to name, there's 6 of us going. So there's myself, there's Maggie, there's Heather, there's Rachel, there's Ginger. Oh, there's 5 of us going. Let me go back again. So
It's
those
lit, y'all.
so those donations help us to go. There's 5 of us who are lifting. There's myself, there's Maggie, there's Heather, there's Rachel, and there's Ginger, along with our coach and his wife. We are flying out to Texas. We are staying in an
True.
Airbnb. We have to supply all of that. So anything helps us to get there. We have also a car that we have to rent, and
Wow.
all of us are also moms that have to work and have to provide. So us going kind of takes that away from our family, so it just helps. Anything helps, and we would love that. And we'd also give you a big shout out on our episodes if you do donate. Let us know.
Nice.
But
I'm excited for you guys.
remember, I am too. Remember, don't be a Karen.
Be a Sharon.
And until
We meet
at the whiteboard again.
Bye.
Bye.